Okay, looks like everything's good. Alright, everyone, we're going to be putting Yakuza on hold just for a little bit, just because my streams are going to be sporadic probably over the next few weeks. So I decided to shift over into stuff that's a bit more, like, short and easier to do. So this is something that's kind of been on my list for a while that I wanted to play, and a friend actually recently recommended it to me. He said, like, he blasted through it all in one night. So I figured, why not actually give this a shot? Mouthwashing went over pretty well. I know this one is far more of like a visual novel, but let's go ahead and still give it a shot. So this is Slay the Princess Pristine Cut. I never played the original version of it, or I know the one that I think was on itch.io. So I don't know what the differences are. I know you can get an ending pretty quick if you just follow the story, so I might do that first and then do an actual playthrough.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Explore the end of the world. What are you talking about? Have you considered what... Oh, let me... So you guys can actually see my cursor. Boom, apply. There we go. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to the end of the world is because she's locked up? Killing the princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Oh, wow, there's a lot of options. Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending. Let's try this.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in the basement end the world? If I don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her. Do you have evidence to back this up? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can someone else do this? Forget it. I'm not doing this. Okay with the world ending. A reward for doing this. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's a bad, as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. Okay, I'm sold. Let's get this over with.
As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Watch this get flagged for bullying or some
The door to the
shit.
basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
No, maybe I'll do a
She
normal
sounds
playthrough first.
dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Just checking in on you.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way. Why would I ever think of that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. Just here to talk, still your nerves and step forward. I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade. Slay the princess. Not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
No, we're gonna
squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
I don't want to do either of these fucking options. Like, cause dropping it just seemed like she's already threatened me. Like, both of these seem like really bad fucking... Fuck it, Slayer.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Wait, what am I?
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here, either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, Internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you
Goddamn,
crash
okay.
for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
No, you're not wrong.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's not the end? Oh, okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here? She's going to kill me again. But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Proceed to the cabin, turn around, and leave.
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did our best with the information we were given, and we did kill her, and yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations, you've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? Ugh, enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters. I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
Let's see. Let's talk about the princess. Proceeds to cabin.
Just be quick about it.
We killed each other last time around. How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world? To quote you from the last time around, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands? Who locked her in the basement? What is this place? You know, I want to know that.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Killed each other last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen? Who locked her in the basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Oh, this is maddening. Why do you keep asking questions? There's nothing wrong with getting the full picture of what's going on here. Sure there is. It's wasting time and energy that would be better spent fighting.
We killed each other last time. If people locked her away, why wouldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me? You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. What else would we even need to know? We've got all the reason we need for a rematch. Exactly. The less you know about her, the better. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
We killed each other last time.
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Just giving me some Stanley Parable type shit here. Like, I don't trust the narrator.
Just leave. We're supposed to fight her. Where are you going? Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and slay the princess. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin, and I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with this world ending. I relish the coming of the new dawn beyond my own. Gonna go to work the opposite direction. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I mean, they could come back. We came back.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you. But did you listen? No.
Nobody tells me what to do. The world around you is unwound. It's a physical matter, replaced by textured nothingness. It's quiet. There's a distant rumbling, the sound of many souls, undulation pulsing louder as something other comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration, the vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of it. I need something shaped like me. It's a nightmare. Wake up. Embrace the thoughts that are restricting you. Urgency, you have a story you need to finish. It's the only way for us to escape this place. Force pushing against your will, no, you cannot go back, not there. Regret, this world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. Wagging finger, there's only much thread in it. Does it not waste it? I am only salvation. Return to the destined path. Okay, so I guess that was an ending.
On a path in the woods. You're here.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard. Okay, cool. We'll do that. The end of the world, what are you
I'm
talking about?
talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess be locked away in the basement at the end of the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you ever considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because you locked her
While
up?
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Thank you for the gift. Just realized I should probably move the alerts up there.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
No, there's just some personal and some family stuff that I'm dealing with right now. So my streams for like the next month are going to be really sporadic.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Killing the princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Well, we kind of already figured that out. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to
Then
her.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
No, that game's going to be on hold until I get all this stuff resolved.
Then each
And then
every
I'll
one of
jump
us
back into it.
is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
So I'm mostly going to be playing like one-off games or really short stuff that I can actually finish, because there might be
You make
instances
your
where
way
I
up
might
the
just
short
have to
path
not
to the
stream
cabin.
for 2 weeks.
You'll find the princess.
I'd rather not take long breaks during really long
We're not
games.
going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and wall.
Take the blade.
the-
Enter the basement.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You
Yeah.
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Okay, we heard all this already. Yeah, so like right now it's just going to be stuff that's short that if I don't finish it, it doesn't really matter to me. Or stuff that, like I said, it can just be beat pretty quick. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip.
What if she's bluffing? What if she kills us? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade, drop the blade, slay the princess.
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Oh, threatened, are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk. Then I'm not talking to you. I guess
we're at
we
an
are.
impasse.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Are you sure you don't want to talk?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Okay, so we know we can get an ending, or we know we continue on if I attempt to slay her, so you know that's what we're gonna do, because I still don't trust her. It's like I still don't know who to trust, so I'm...
Doubt, unfortunately.
Oh, I can't continue with that last option. So I have to either give up or flee and lock her in the basement.
Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her. The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths, tosses the blade away from you. This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back, the air leaving your lungs in a heavy puff. And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
That's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
So I'm wondering if it's even possible to slay her on the first chapter.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja. Hasn't this already happened? Okay, no. But I died. What am I
I can
doing?
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you thought. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and that all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's
Like,
what it
we
takes
do
to
know
keep
the
you-
narrator is telling the truth, though.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only Of course we died. She didn't feel pain. She didn't feel much of anything, did she? And she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Okay, we already know that the narrator is going to avoid any real questions when it comes to the princess, so let's just go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
I have noticed that the voice changes based on which, like, what our actions were at the end of each chapter.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest.
Okay, this is different.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
He didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. The whole cabin is different than last time. Approach the mirror, take the blade, enter the basement.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Yeah, narrator is kind of annoying. Being lied to, there is a mirror. I care about whether I'm being lied to.
As do I. And yeah, there is. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
This whole cabin is different than last time. Approach the mirror, take the blade, enter the basement. We're gonna approach that mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Alright, we'll take the knife.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Okay, yeah, this is
You
definitely
weren't
different.
kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
So I'm wondering if she didn't kill us, and this is just like a vision kind of thing she gave us.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Wasn't she's in a basement. How does she have a window behind her?
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
See, like, here's the main thing. I don't trust the narrator, but I don't trust this bitch either. Like, tightening your... Yeah.
As if on command, the blade
Wait, what?
slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And here you are again. Trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
You're supposed to end the world. No, remain silent.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
What would you have me do? What have you planned? Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean that you actually have to do it. You can do whatever you want, or you can be whatever you want to be. I have a question for questions from before I decided to do anything. What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you end the world. Don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that. At your command. We'll go with
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
What would you have me do? I have questions from before. What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you end the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Okay, I can't do anything else.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Oh, okay, I just got stuck in a no-end situation.
We'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Okay, that was actually pretty good. Slay yourself, slay the princess. Like, yeah, I'm going after the fucking princess
Your
again.
body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Don't As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Not fully sure, Visor. She's basically having us kill ourselves. Slay the princess, slay yourself, slay the princess.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
It's the game.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
I don't have to listen to you.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Oh, that's the meaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
It's a mercy. Take it.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
No.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor.
Oh, I thought she crushed us.
Unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me.
You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay, so we got to chapter 3.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that? I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
He kind of makes a good point there.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was.
I can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us, and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. All right, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Okay. It feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice. If you hit the point of no return you mentioned, then what happens? No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through. Silently proceed to the cabin. I'm done with this. Bye. Turn around and leave. So we know that's the wrong answer.
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? The end is what happens. Yeah, but is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there. If there even is a there, it doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
Feels like I'm being pulled. No matter what happens next, it seems like the answers are at the cabin. So I'm going to proceed to... let's go with, I feel like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make
So
a choice.
what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten a say in things.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think you have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever gonna change.
Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
Silently proceed to the cabin.
Good, we're all on the same page.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns.
Really
forming
digging the
a
music
high
for this so
arched
far.
roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
It's that mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door. You didn't mention the mirror last time either. Why? How are we supposed to get to the basement? There's no door, there's a mirror. Take the blade, approach the mirror. Okay, first off,
Take the blade from the pedestal. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
you didn't mention the mirror last time either. Why?
We've done this already. Try to keep up. The repetition is maddening.
I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely.
What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it.
As if you don't see it. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Wipe the mirror.
Reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat. See how you've soured my once divine melody.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good.
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here. And it's why your task is so important.
Continue down the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood. A deep,
Oh, she's a
sickening red
Cenobite now.
drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating
Oh, shit.
sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Give up on destroying the world. What happened to you? Wait. We don't have to do this. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for what I did to you. Please just listen to me. I'm going to end you. Slay the princess. Slay the princess.
No. I don't care about your words. I care about getting my pound of flesh.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch,
Holy
you
shit.
are unwound. No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that. She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
You should all just be grateful she's decided to keep us alive. Even in her defilement, she is merciful.
We're not out for the count just yet.
You damn cheater, give me my insides back. I killed you last time. I swear on everything that I am, I'm going to kill you again. I only killed you last time because you were going to end the world. We can talk ourselves back from this ledge. I'm sorry for what I did to you, but you did horrible things to me too. Where all of this supposed to end, we can't just keep killing each other forever. There's no time for the world step. Okay. I only killed you last time because you were going to end the world. We can... Sledge. Just can't keep killing each other over and over
But
forever.
the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth. Instead, all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place. Our metaphorical mouth.
You don't have the means to speak anymore, do you? How tragic. It is tragic, though, isn't it? I'm not satisfied dividing fear and indignation from your eyes alone. A quivering mound of flesh is no companion.
She snaps her fingers, and the
the basic form of a vocal system assembles before you.
Now, little bird, what was it you wanted to tell me?
We have to stop hurting each other. What is the end game here? Are we supposed to keep torturing each other forever? Forward, step forward and engage the enemy. We'll go with this.
Your defiance robbed me of my end game. You desecrated my divine spirit and plunged me into your realm of flesh. The only thing left for me is your torment.
Just submit already. What is there left for us to do?
See. Seize control of your broken body and lay waste to your foe.
Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
That's right. She'll never stop us.
Still you defy your god. I've made the mistake of underestimating your resolve before. Never again.
You swing for her heart. What's left of you explodes.
So that's it. It's over. Just like that.
Of course it's over. It's been over since the very first moment we laid eyes on her.
This is the final note of your discordant melody. You will not return again, because you will live in that single tone forever.
No! No! It's not over! We're a god killer! We've returned from death itself twice!
Didn't you hear her? We're not dead.
Oh, this is some I have no mouth and I must scream type shit going on here.
What's the difference?
From many perspectives, there isn't one. But functionally, that is, from your perspective, the difference is massive. You are entirely laid bare, spread to each corner of the room. Yet you are wholly aware of the state you're in. Incapable of movement, but entirely capable of perception. In fact, perceiving your state is the only thing you can currently do. You are preserved, perfectly, in the amber of her torment.
We're more than this. We've lost bodies before. We just have to lose this one and make another.
How are we supposed to lose this one? We can't do anything right now. She's not letting me. She's going to get worse. She gets worse every time we get to a new cabin.
Who said anything about getting to a new cabin? No, we make something new here.
It won't matter if you do. She'll just pull us apart again.
And preferably, we make something without him.
How are we supposed to lose this one? I can't do anything right now. She's letting me shed this vessel onto the next. How are we supposed to lose this one?
I don't know. You're the one who makes things happen, so make it happen.
Absolutely not. I refuse to let you just decide to die with your task unfinished. If you die here, the world is doomed.
But you die. But you do die. There is a great release as you lose your grip on what's left of your flesh and blood. And yet you are still alive.
Your Honor, where the hell are you? Are you already at the princess? This place is different. Rotten. Death all around us. I want to go back.
So you've returned already, and I remain here. Is this our final destination?
The princess tilts her head to look at you, and with a gesture, you are unwound. Again? Already?
Clearly I left you with too much room last time. Perhaps this cell will hold you better.
You know what to do. Again.
Die again. Again, you relinquish your body, and again, you find yourself here, but somewhere else.
Your Honor,
She's gorgeous. Absolutely divine.
You, guy who describes things, you better start saying what we do this time.
and what are you doing?
Attacking her, obviously.
Right. You charge towards the princess and...
There is no spark in you. Only matter devoid of life.
What do you mean exactly? There is no spark in you, only matter of devoid of life.
You explode.
Again.
You let yourself go, and you're living once more.
On a path. We are not on a fucking path. I have no idea where we are.
We're in the middle of a fight, so act like it.
So you are. Okay. You dive towards the princess, and we're unwound.
Like, I'm not sure what you mean by does it have bobs?
Yes. Her head swivels creakily on her neck, fire in her eyes as your body unravels with blinding pain.
No!
Again.
You have no body, you exist, you are reborn.
Ronna,
No time. You narrate now.
yes, of course. Pristine blade grasped firmly in your hands, you fly towards the princess before she can turn to face you. We might actually do it this time.
I can feel that body of yours slicing through the air. How many more times will I have to scatter you?
As she turns towards you, the very essence of your being begins to flake away. Your muscles, then organs, then nerves lay bare and screaming as the rest of you is stripped of substance. Oh, boo-hoo. It's just a body.
It just needs to last long enough to sink this blade into her heart.
It doesn't last. You are disintegrated. Everything goes dark.
But there is no you to die.
How many times do I need to pulverize you before you finally understand? You are nothing. An empty void that dared to dream it was alive.
That feels right.
If we're nothing, then why are we still here?
Because we always have been. If we're nothing, then how can we do anything? The same way we always have. Being
You cannot win if you cannot be.
A force races towards the princess, his exposed heart. Threads of texture pulled from all-encompassing nothing.
How? I scattered the atoms you clung to and there was nothing there to find. You can't exist.
The threads pierce her heart and cradle her spirit.
It's over.
Oh, I think I understand you now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do the things I did to you. I don't think I knew what I was doing.
She sounds genuine. They always do in the end.
It's cold, but I'm going to be okay, right?
Quantum break. You don't get the chance to respond. Something has taken her away, and it left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Are we the princess? I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go around looking for her. The narrator's gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
He is. Does that mean the world ended? He was never going to outlast us.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
I don't know where she went, and I don't know looking for her. I think I'm supposed to approach the
I'm
mirror.
begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You're at the cabin. Approach her. You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It's the entity that dwells in the space between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're that thing I met in the space outside the woods, aren't you? I thought you were a dream. Or I thought that was a dream. What are you? The gift of a fragile vessel. Is this the end of the world? Let her out of there. Holy shit. Do you know the narrator? Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here? Do you know what the world beyond, or do you know about the worlds beyond this place? Are you the princess? What happens now? Attack the entity, destroy her body. Let's question what it is.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? A person, a set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel. Is this the end of the world? Let her out of there. Do you know the narrator? Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes
Here but us. Are you the princess? Do you know about the worlds beyond this place? What happens now?
I know only that they are. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? How much will I forget? How many more princesses of you do I have to find? And what if I don't let you do this to me? I was sent to slay the princess and stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
So this is going in a direction I wasn't expecting. You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? How much will I forget? How many more princesses do I have to find? And what if I don't let you do this?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Everything, until we meet again. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
So our only option is to keep going.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die.
You're on a path in
In the world, what are we talking about? Killing the princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else? Forget it, I'm not doing it.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Sweet, I always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Oops.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses.
Proceed to the cabin. And to the basement. We're not going to take the knife this time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slay. Her voice softly carries up.
Hello?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
I'm here to save you.
How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
So, we did finally kill her. Let's talk for a bit first.
Okay.
So it sounds about right. What's your name? I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason. If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking? I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a little bit. We can't get to know each other better while I decide what to do. Sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take the world over, the potential fate of the world. Go back upstairs and retrieve the blade without saying another word. I can't believe they've been keeping you down here like this. I'm getting you out of here. Okay, I'm going to get you out of here. Don't make me regret this. Examine the chains. What have you been eating and
I
drinking?
don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating?
She has to eat, right?
What's your name? Don't you know anything about this? I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. I'm going to keep you locked away down here. I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. See, we already know what happens if we try to kill her. Let's see what happens if we try to free her.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe there's a key still lying around somewhere up here, or up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out of here. Try the door.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
Holy
hesitates
shit.
before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
If you guys haven't noticed, I have a general trend of I don't like when people take away my options or my free will.
Both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. Everything goes dark, and you die.
No idea. That's kind of what we're trying to figure out. Okay, I want to test something. So let's load.
She asked.
That's the...
Take the blade, enter the basement.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Then drop the knife.
Okay, so whether I take the knife is what determines her attitude at the bottom of that basement. Wait, no, don't override. Load.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
Wait, did I load the right one?
You're on a path. You're here.
Okay. Oh, you bastard. You're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth.
Voice of the Smitten is just you, Toxin. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and this all really did happen. Let's just go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do. but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero.
Grey carpet.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing reset.
I think the only thing that sucks is, like, we already know a good amount of this, and I can't skip it either.
A trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that? I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you again? What happened after I died? I have to ask, did you end the world after you killed me back there? I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want to end the world. I have no feelings one way or the other. Honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I have...
Then I didn't end the world.
Really?
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. I didn't bring a knife. I'm sorry about last time.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
To be fair, this time she kind of... Actually, every time she's killed us, it's technically been in self-defense. Except for that third time. Like... Well, I mean, technically even in the third time. We were going with the vicious cycle, so...
Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Oh, well, they established on the third playthrough that we did that chain don't do shit. She'll rip her arm free from it.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave.
She have fangs now.
And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. Do you want to end the world? I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later. To leave, let's leave. I want you to tell me what you want.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
There must be something
I
you
just
want.
want to make you happy.
Are her eyes getting bigger?
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
But what would make you happy? You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
Okay, clearly something is happening here and I'm very scared. What if we just don't do anything? What if we just stay here? Nobody gets hurt and we just figure out a way to be happy together, but will make you happy. You have to want something more than just being happy. I want you to make me unhappy. Do you want to end the world? I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest. If you want to leave, then let's leave.
Oh, is that really what you want? If you think that would make you happy, then
Her eyes dart uncomfortably to the corners of the room.
I guess we could do that.
Oh, at least she's normal again. Normal again? Can't you tell she's sad? She's distraught. This is unacceptable. But she can't be unhappy about staying with us. Can she? No. It has to be him. It has to be this place. If we just made these walls more fitting for a princess, if we just say the right things, if we just showed her the contents of our heart, she'd be happy here. As the voice thinks its thought, your hands raise, fingers pointing towards your chest, and then... What? No, you absolutely do not do that. Oh, but I do. What? What is he doing? We can't see unless you tell us. Are you sure you want to know? I suppose I can't stall forever. You plunge your nails into your chest, digging deep, grasping for a handhold. And you find it, your fingers curling around your ribs.
Oh no, what are you doing? Are you okay? You can't do that and be okay.
Time out. He should not be allowed to do that. He's not the decider. And yet, it's done, isn't it? It will be soon. You yank violently, your bones cracking with wet pops as you pull yourself apart inch by painful inch. Your exposed heart, framed by jagged ribs, thumps rhythmically in your raw, bloodied chest. The loosened threads of your body unfurling to cover the surface of the room. Don't mind my sacrifice. It's a fair price to pay to give her everything she doesn't know she wants.
What?
Oh, I see. You're trying to tell me something.
The princess, mesmerized, reaches towards your beating heart, and then everything goes dark and we die? Yes. You're on a path in the woods. Mate, we're clearly already in the cabin. Excuse me? You're clearly...
I mean,
Huh.
she
So
did.
you are.
She did technically unalive us
About the
quite a
cabin.
few
I didn't
times
get
on
to
the first
cabin
couple
part of my opening
playthroughs.
monologue yet. We've been here before. Well, not here, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You knew about the Lupin last time. Not that he was eager to divulge that. Right on cue, here's the new guy. Welcome! I can't say I'm happy to be here. This is a bad place. All stale and wrong. Can't you feel it?
Again, not the second or third time.
Okay, yes, I get it. You've been here before. That's terrible.
You know that, right? Because the only reason you would have been here before is if you failed in whatever world you'd come from, meaning you doomed an entire other reality. But I'm sure since you're so well-travelled, you know that, yes? We know that you keep telling us that, but we've never seen a world end. As far as I'm concerned, that whole conversation is just noise. And I'm stuck on a better question. Where's the other one? The other one? Yeah, a certain lovesick fool has been suspiciously quiet. One might even say, absent. Oh, you're right. It's a little quiet here, isn't it? Maybe that bonus voice? I'm just as important as you are. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is that it's my third time here and it's your first. You're not unwelcome, but from my perspective, you're definitely bonus. I'm going to describe the room now. The interior of the cabin is vast and regal. High arched windows line the walls, their multicoloured glass casting kaleidoscopic patterns across the stone floor. An iron chandelier hangs from the vaulted ceiling, its many candles lit with flickering light, vaguely illuminating the massive room. This is a house fit for royalty. Before you, there isn't a blade, is there? That's not good.
Doesn't matter if the blade's here. We don't use it last time, and this time before that she used it to kill us.
I see your point, but it's still an option that's been taken away from us. I don't like losing options.
Paranoid kind of makes some sense.
Yes, and it's an important one. It's your implement. You're going to need it if you want to do this right. And the fact that you're here, right now, again, means that you have not yet done this right. But it's not there, is it? We don't even get the choice. So, what are we supposed to do? I don't actually know. I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere. It has to. It's part of the whole structure of this place, I think. At the very least, it's important.
So none of you are going to talk about the mirror.
Oh, I see it. I've just been preoccupied with everything else going on, like the fact that we can rip our own heart out without deciding that's what we're going to do. Is that what happened to you last time? How did that even work? You better not do it again. Lucky for you, the one who did it is the one who's gone. Wonderful. Moving on, I have no idea what you're talking about. There is no mirror. There's only the stained glass windows, the empty table where your blade should be, and the door to the basement. There it is, right in the middle of the room. It feels like it's watching us. Mirror or no mirror, the door to the basement, your only way forward, is just on the other side of the room. How about you walk over there? You cross the room, stopping just in front of the door to the basement. What is this about that supposed mirror? Just reach forward and fumble around a bit. I'm sure you'll find the handle. Well, shall we have a look at ourselves? You reach forward, your hand instinctively wrapping around the handle. It's gone. I don't like things disappearing on us. I don't like how fluid reality seems to be. Neither do I. And then you push the door open. Marvellous. We can proceed. It would seem that the stairs to the basement don't lead to the basement at all. Rather, they go up.
I mean, it's far more of just like a
one that feels
slightly more in depth than a normal visual novel.
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably... no, that doesn't work here at all. This place is nice. It's fancy, even. I have to say, whatever you did in your previous lives, I deeply dislike how much it's thrown me off my rhythm. Well, if all of this has thrown you off your rhythm so much, then maybe we don't have to slay the princess. No, you absolutely do.
Yeah, I've played,
Just because
not
she
on
lives in a
stream, but
nice
I've played
house
quite a
doesn't mean
few.
She doesn't pose a direct threat to all of reality. It's in her very nature. Am I the only one who remembers how much she changed last time? Does she even have a nature? That is precisely why she poses a threat. I don't know, she got weird for a second, yeah, but she didn't change that. We have to move on. This is a wildly dangerous line of reasoning. No, you can't just say that and not... Her voice, gentle and warm, with an undercurrent of fatigue, rolls down the stairs.
You're home. Dinner's ready.
As much as I desperately want to know what happened last time, we are not going to examine it. The more we think, the worse this gets. Why are you so on edge? This is much nicer than what we're used to. I'd like to have dinner. Dinner sounds nice. That is the problem. This isn't supposed to be nice, and she's supposed to be a prisoner. I need to stop talking. I need to
Big fan of
stop
Monkey Island. I'm not a
talking.
big fan
Go
of
upstairs, okay?
like the Myst,
And
Revan
don't
style
eat the food.
point and click games. Proceed up the stairs.
This hall, like the one below, is grand and beautiful. Torches bathe the room in warm, comforting light, just enough to illuminate the tapestries along every wall, woven with scenes of chivalry and courtship and romance. The many cloth eyes are fixed on each other, gazes averted from the long table in the center of the room, the princess seated at its far end. Your pristine blade glints in the weak torchlight, hanging from a golden chain around the princess's neck. So that's where it is. And the tip is already pointed right at her heart. Okay, everything is falling back into place. All you have to do is cross the room, push down a little, and the entire world is saved. That's easy. Isn't that suspiciously easy? There has to be a twist. There has to be something waiting for us. You saw what happened to her last time. She's not what she seems.
You're here. Now we can start being happy together. Why don't you sit down? Wouldn't that be nice?
As the words leave her mouth, the torches flare and a chair swings in from behind, knocking your legs out from under you. You're forcibly seated at the head of the table.
Isn't that better? It is better, right?
What is this place? What are we supposed to do now? You mentioned dinner on the stairs. Excuse me, get up. Silently push yourself from your sleep. Slay the princess. Huh. What is this place? What are we supposed to do now?
Oh, right, dinner. I totally forgot about it.
The flames burn bright and a shadow dives across the table. In its wake, it leaves a feast.
Go ahead and dig in. I'm sure you're hungry.
Well, we have a knife now.
Remember what I said. Oh, but it looks so amazing, and after everything we've been through, we could really use a break. Are you sure we need to be so concerned? I'm not sure about anything, and that's the problem. For what it's worth, I generally don't think one should trust strange food that magically appears on a table. But nothing here is exactly what I expected it to be, so make of that what you will.
Refuse her hospitality or eat.
It's okay. It's okay. We can figure something else out. Think. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This isn't fine. This isn't fine at all.
As the words leave her mouth, one of the torches on the wall sputters and then goes out entirely.
What just happened? Did I do something wrong?
light went out. Maybe a coincidence, but maybe not. As if in response to the dousing of their brother, the other 3 torches blaze brighter, their flames licking at the walls. Their shadows deepen, dancing angrily across the stone.
What just happened? Did you make the torches go out? I don't think you did anything wrong. I think we just said something you want. Wait. I think you just said something you wanted to say. It's just a torch, don't worry about it. What is this place? Forget about the food. What should we do now? Get up. Go
But
with
it
that.
was wrong. I took away a piece of our light. I'm not supposed to do that. I don't want him to be upset with me.
You said he. Who is he?
He's the voice that whispers sweet nothings in my ear. I think he made this place for us.
She does have a narrator. Okay.
Oh, makes sense now. It's him, isn't it? He's making all this happen. He's the one who trapped us here. Who? The lovesick one. The one from last time. He's not gone. He's just with her now. He's the shadow.
Hey, Smitten. You were real chatty last time. Don't you have anything else to say?
Smitten?
The torches flare and the shadow grows for a moment, but you don't receive a response. No, I saw him smile. That's him. Regardless, it would seem that he, if there is a he, isn't something you can talk to.
Good point, Tuxon.
He says his words are just for me, but he wants me to ask. Isn't this enough? Isn't this what you wanted him to do? He says he's tired, and I don't think he'll answer anything else you have to say. I don't know. Maybe we could play a game.
We're already playing a game.
Yeah, that's exactly what we should do.
Flames roar, and the shadow comes dancing across the table. It leaves behind an intricate game, its pieces elegant and beautiful and enticing, its simple rules already apparent, even with little explanation.
We can probably work together to figure this out as we go. That sounds like a lot of fun, right?
Yet another waste of time. Why all the distractions? What are we being distracted from? That's the real game. I feel like I'm 2 steps behind. You're overthinking it, mate. I feel like this is just something to do. We might as well try to have some fun. You and the princess do indeed figure it out as you go. And what a game it is. The tension between turns, the triumphant highs of moves well placed, and the tragic lows of miscalculations and careless plays. The warmth of trust and the cool texture of deception. And then, the climax, as she places her final piece.
Oh, I think we got the rules wrong.
And so you start over. Time passes. You play the game. You win. Hey! Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, you won. I guess we can play again.
Time passes. You play the game. She wins.
Oh, I won. I guess we can play again.
There is a long pause, and the board does not reset.
This isn't fun anymore, is it?
It's never going to stay fun. You don't need me to tell you that it isn't. Oh. The princess visibly panics as another torch sputters.
Wait. Maybe this is just too easy. Maybe if we added more rules and pieces, it would be fun again.
Yeah. The game's just a little simple. We can make it fun again. The shadow descends on the board once again. More pieces are added, their shapes more intricate, their purposes less immediately clear, and the two of you set about discovering the complexities of the game anew. And so you do, and it is fun again. In fact, it's almost as fun as the first time you played, and the sputtering torch roars back to life. But then you get used to the additions, and the feeling starts to fade. A creeping numbness settling in over the board. More pieces are added. The feelings flare. The feelings fade. The princess suggests new rules. A glimmer of what could have been excitement flits through your mind, quickly vanishing as the game progresses. Your pieces advance in an ever-increasing slog to their destination. Winning and losing become nothing but ends, and even the end becomes nothing as you roll over into a new game, the board resetting as many times as you can finish. Till finally...
Eventually we have to stop playing this game, right?
I'm out of ideas. I'm actually out of ideas this time. I don't think I can play anymore.
As the words leave the princess's mouth, another torch goes out. Again, the remaining flames burn brighter, and the shadow dances faster.
I'm happy. I promise. We're both so happy here. You don't have to be upset.
This is awful. I think we all know that we're not happy. We just have to admit it to ourselves.
Just a torch, don't worry. This place isn't right. We have to put the rest of them out. We have to get rid of that shadow. Are you actually happy here? Like, that's the correct answer, but I don't know if just saying it is the correct answer. We'll just go with that.
Why would we ever do that? We need the light. It's what keeps us happy. Oh, I know. We should do something. How about...
The princess's face drops as she pauses mid-sentence.
Would you look at that? I'm out of ideas.
The third torch sputters out. The princess's shadow dances furiously against the far wall.
There's just one left. What's going to happen when it goes out?
Don't worry about what's going to happen. If you could do anything in the world, what would you do? What would you choose?
I think I'd like to dance under the stars.
That sounds lovely.
But there aren't any stars here. I'd have to leave.
As she says that, the shadow rushes forward and tightens its grip on her wrists.
I'm not happy here. I don't think I ever was.
The princess sobs, burying her face in her hands as the final torch blows out.
I feel empty. So that's that, huh? Why are you crying? Are you okay? Well, this sucks. You can open your eyes. I'm still here, you know. Nothing's changed. We're sitting in the dark. Slay the princess, say nothing.
She raises her head, mascara trailing down her cheeks.
So you are. It's dark in here, isn't it?
The princess's eyes dart to the floor.
Well, we can't sit here forever. That part of us is over.
The princess pushes herself from her chair, and you instinctively do the same, waiting by the top of the stairs as she quietly crosses the room.
Do you still care about me?
Of course I do. I don't think I'll ever stop. Whatever we had between us wasn't real. This isn't real. Oh, she's got the knife. I don't know if I ever have, but maybe I can now. I'm not sure I ever had a chance to figure out how to feel about you. I just wanted to leave since the moment I found myself in the woods. No, slay the princess, say nothing. See, I know we have to slay her. That's kind of the thing. Whatever we have between us wasn't real. This is real.
I don't know what this is.
I'd like to find out.
Me too. And I don't think we're going to find anything here. So, I guess it's time for us to leave.
As the princess steps towards the stairs, you offer her your hand. The corners of her mouth curl into a demure smile, and she gently takes your hand in hers. She's cold and a little clammy, but her skin against yours is the most real thing you have ever felt. You're offering surprisingly little resistance. If we leave the cabin, doesn't that end the world?
It does, if he's telling the truth.
Yes, well, I've seen my fairy tale ending, and I think there might be worse things than the end of the world.
Really was just all meaningless blather then, wasn't it?
Think what you will. I'm done fighting. You and the princess don't exchange words as you descend the stairs to the cabin's entrance. And then the two of you step out into the world. I think this is the end of me, even if it's not the end of you. I hope this was worth it. Genuinely, I do. He's really gone, isn't he?
Yeah. There's an itching in the back of my head that feels like it's finally been scratched. No more shadowy figures yanking at our strings. No more strings. I guess we're free.
The stars are so beautiful.
A quiet moment passes over you, a comfortable quiet.
I meant it when I said I wanted to dance.
She gently pulls you forward, and the two of you fall into a graceful step. The only rhythm that guides you is the shared thumping of your hearts beating in perfect unison. Her face warm and tired, brightens the faster you move, a soft sad smile widening and widening until it reflects only. She sends out her You send her out in a wide spin, and your arms stretch to their limits. Only the tenuous grasp of your hands in hers, holding you together. Your shared gaze that feels like it lasts forever.
Thank you for taking me here. This is nice, even if it's a little cold outside.
But you do not get a chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me. It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared. Wait, why isn't it narrated? But it feels so bad, like looking into it right now is going to be the end of something.
It's calling us. And not in a good way.
It's not the end whatsoever. On the other side is going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. We'll trust you?
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown in. You find yourself at the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the seeing being as you were once before? How much of you has changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer? What does it feel like to change like this? When this is all done, do you know what you want to do? You know that in the end... Wait, you know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Damn, she just told me to fuck off.
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
When I go back, as if an invisible wall closes around me, why can I not do the same thing I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
What do you want me to bring you next time? I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I feel things will become. What do you feel about me? This vessel I've been bringing you, I've hurt them. How many more vessels do I need?
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here for tonight. This is actually way more in depth than I thought it was going to be. So I will definitely pick this up tomorrow if I'm able to, and we'll try and get to an actual ending. But that is it for tonight, everyone. I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for following. And I will see you all back here tomorrow, hopefully around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, everyone.